Where's yours?
Breathe up.
Oh, we have state scholars here tonight.
I can make a motion. Okay, so.
Sure. If I have to, right?
Oh,
She'll make the motion.
You want me to second it?
Yeah, you second. So you make the motion. She'll second it. See if they're smart enough to. See if they're smart enough to make the motion.
I think Chris is telling him right now. Rachel, did you get my email? Did I email you? Huh? If you get this twice, I'm sorry. You sent it to me once. Okay. Just want to make sure.
I don't even know. Board docs. There it is.
I check your text messages once a week. I don't remember. This chair feels kind of funny. I don't like this chair.
Okay? That's my thought.
Okay.
I got the right name.
Hey, Kim.
I've been trying to hang Masburg on.
Hey, Kim.
I didn't know I was on curriculum. I couldn't even.
No, we keep canceling it.
Mr.
I can load your mind.
The Illinois State Scholars. Mr.
Yeah, but on two, so I guess we
Go
get.
ahead. Elijah's supposed to be here to take pictures.
Hi, Tim.
I don't see him yet, but
Where are we?
Tim, you don't have to name it that name. You can say whatever name you want. I'm gonna.
Sure. I don't show my babies off often. Look at my babies.
Stop it.
How old? How
She
old
just turned 3 in
She just turned
January.
3? Oh, wow.
And my little niece just.
You know who that is?
Here, let me put my glasses on. Make sure.
I don't know who it is either.
No, I don't. Like, I don't even have a clue.
I don't either. Rachel, do you know who this one is?
Or you want James Hill? Oh, James Hill.
Okay. Okay, so this.
We have Illinois State Scholars here.
I love it. I'm sorry, but the answer is yes, Dr. Waters, I think. Oh, never. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Archie,
Here.
Baronis. Here. Bolin,
Present?
Gathing,
Present.
Johnston,
Here.
Verrett,
Present.
Williams.
Here.
All present. We have a quorum. Could we stand and state the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. first item on the agenda is a matter near and dear to all of the board members' hearts, which is the honoring of and acknowledgement of our Illinois State Scholars. So, there we go. You want me to call them individually? Oh, you're going
gonna call 'em.
Jason,
You guys-
good job. Good job.
They're in order. You can go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brad Bohennick, and I am the assistant principal at Kankakee High School for the senior class. It is my honor today to be able to present our 24-25 Illinois State Scholars. I would like to thank Dr. Walters and President Bolin for allowing me to do this, and the members of the board. Ready for the first one? All right, here we go. Parker Beasley, son of Lauren. Parker here? Well, we'll go back.
He's right there.
Oh, all right, we're back. All right. Son of Lauren and Allison Beasley has participated in KHS band as brass section leader, KHS orchestra as concert master, KHS marching band, Tri-M, and show choir combo. His honors include TIRM Music and the Thespian Society. Parker has volunteered with the Kankakee Valley Youth Symphony Orchestra, playing bassoon, violin, trumpet, trombone, and percussion, and as traffic co-manager at the Merchant Street Music Fest. Parker also volunteered at the Kankakee Public Library and helped with various events. Parker plans to pursue a double major in music and pre-med. All right, next we have James Bretzloff. He is the son of Pete and Katie Bretzloff, has participated in varsity soccer, varsity tennis, piano, National Honor Society, Tri-M Music Honor Society, and the Kankakee County CEO program. His honors include being an AP Scholar with distinctions, NHS President, Tri-M Piano Rep, Tennis MVP in the 2023 season, Soccer Chief K Award 2023, KCC's President's List Fall 2023, and Varsity Soccer Captain for his senior year. James has volunteered with the soccer team at Merchant Street Music Fest and youth soccer camps, participated in NHS group volunteer projects, volunteered at AGAP Community Outreach Mission, volunteered at KHS concerts through Tri-M, and is a Junior Achievement Program volunteer. James is currently undecided on a college or university, but plans on majoring in business. Abigail Hout. Is the daughter of Stephen and Aaron Hout, has participated in the robotics team, Scholastic Bowl Orchestra, playing the violin and the viola. Tri-M Music Honor Society, a member of the National Honor Society, ran cross country and was the team captain, and played softball. Her honors include receiving the AP Scholar with Distinction Award from the College Board, placing 9th individual in Scholastic Bowl Conference, Division I ranking for viola solo, and receiving the Chief K Award twice for cross country. Abigail has volunteered regularly at her church. Out of the Dark Suicide Prevention Walk, KVTA, and has helped with concerts and plays at KHS. Abigail plans to attend Cedarville University, majoring in mechanical engineering and minoring in computer science. Next, we have Adele Mao Bridges. She is the daughter of Cara Mao Bridges and Jesse Bridges. She has participated in the KCC Early College Program, National Honor Society, marching band, jazz band, show choir, and theater at KHS, and Tri-M Music Honor Society. Her honors include being on the honor roll all 4 years of high school and earning AP credits. Adele regularly volunteers at school and in the community through Tri-M and NHS for organizations such as Merchant Street Gallery for Artists with Autism and the Kankakee Valley Theater Association. Adele plans on attending another year at KCC, then transferring to Illinois State University to major in music therapy. Next, we'll have Kelsey Medina. She is the daughter of Roberto and Fabiola Medina. Has participated in the Student Council Executive Board, National Honor Society Officer, Orchestra, and Girls Tennis. Her honors include being on the Honor Roll, KCC Early College Program, and AP classes. Kelsey has volunteered with Junior Achievement Classroom Heroes, American Heart Association Blood Drive, Thanksgiving Food Drive, Church Christmas Sales, Merchant Street Halloween Festival, shoveled snow and raked leaves for several elderly neighbors, and participated in several fundraisers. Kelsey plans to attend a 4-year college where she will obtain her degree and major in nursing or radiology. She hopes to pursue her education at Olivet Nazarene University and transfer to another out-of-state university if required. Next, we have Brennan Morris. He is the son of Patrick and Ryan Morris, has participated in soccer and the soccer club, and has also refereed games in the area. His honors include, in the early college program, making the KCC honors list last year, being the National Honor Society, being an Illinois State Scholar, and being 7th in his class. Being in the soccer program, Brennan has been exposed to over 100 hours of volunteering opportunities, which includes kids' soccer camps, being a ball boy and running scoreboards at community games, refereeing community games, volunteering at the K's Classic, setting up and taking down events at the Boat Club, helped backstage at the Merchant Street Music Fest. Outside of the soccer program, Brennan has been a reading buddy to the kindergarten class at LCC. He has also helped them with lunch and played games during recess. Brennan plans to attend Bradley University to pursue his doctorate in physical therapy in the DPT program, for which he was granted early preferred admittance. Jose Pina Gutierrez. Son of Jose Pina and Maria Gutierrez, is an AP student at KCC Early College Program. His honors include being on the KCC 2023 Fall Honor Roll. Jose plans to get his bachelor's degree in Business Administration at Olivet Nazarene University. Malia Riley. She is the daughter of Charles Riley, has participated in dance, show choir, track and field, cross country, and theater. Her honors include being on the A Honor Roll, AP Scholar with Honor, Certified Nursing Assistant, AP Capstone, Kankakee Community College President's List, National Honor Society Vice President, Tri-M Music Honor Society Vice President, and receiving the National African American Recognition Award. Malia has volunteered 80-plus hours, which consist of helping with various Kankakee high school events, teaching students at Steuben about financial literacy through their Junior Achievement Program, and teaching students how to play the ukulele and piano at King Middle School through their summer music program. Malia plans to major in neuroscience and minor in translation studies on a pre-med track at Yale University. All right, Matthew Shelton. Son of Nathan and Maria Shelton, is a third-degree black belt in the Korean martial art named Subak Do. Varsity swim team, Tri-M Music Honor Society, National Honor Society, and he is a certified assistant instructor in Subak Do. His honors include being in the Beta Club in junior high, being in the early college program at KCC, and making the honors list at KCC. He is also in the Tri-M Music Honor Society and the National Honor Society. Matthew has volunteered by marching in parades for Subak Do, working cleanup and the Bradley Sportsman's Club, helping at the Gathering Point Church Cafe, and participating in the Friendship Festival every year. Matthew plans to major in astronomy. He has been accepted into Iowa State, Michigan State, Butler University, DePaul University, and Olivet Nazarene University. He is still weighing his options. And the last one, Daniel Way. I don't believe Daniel is with us tonight, but I would also like to make sure that we congratulate him. Daniel has a 4.48 weighted GPA, and he is currently taking classes at KCC.
Closer. Get closer.
My usual speech is, the 10 of you have excelled. We're very proud of you. Congratulations. And next year, we hope to have 3 or 4 times the number. But we're very proud of you. Thank you. Okay, superintendent's report for instruction.
So I believe Ms. Edith Petty has a presentation. She's our Director of Bilingual Services. And so she can come forward with the presentation. Or a comment. Okay.
Good evening, Superintendent Walters, Board of Education. So what I do apologize for my presentation. I did not submit it to Rachel, but I do have it here, okay? So just to kind of give you a little bit of background, we looked over the past 3 years to see how many newcomers we've had to our district. In the school year 21-22, we had, wrong one. The new arrivals during that school year was only 14. In 22-23, we had 32 new arrivals, and these are from Mexico, Nicaragua, Colombia, Honduras, and Ecuador. This year, since we've started the school year, we have enrolled 107 new students. So we went from 14 to to 32, and now we're at 107. Specifically from Mexico, we've received 37. We have new from Nicaragua 4. Colombia, we have 14. Honduras, we have 2. Ecuador, we have 19. Guatemala, we have 4. Dominican Republic, we have 1. Venezuela, 23. Brazil, 1. El Salvador, 1. And Peru, 1. So that's a total of 107. This has been by far the most diverse the bilingual program has been in Kankakee School District. And so you're probably wondering, what are we going to do with these students? And so gratefully, I had Dr. Walters and Ms. Fountain attend a meeting with me because I do participate in a downstate networking group with bilingual directors. At this point, we're all experiencing an influx of newcomers, and everyone is trying to come up with a plan in terms of how we're going to support them. And so I was able to meet with Dr. Walters and the team with the state, and ISB has what we call a Visiting International Teaching Program. Our district signed a Memorandum of Understanding, so this year, this summer, or actually in a few weeks, we're going to onboard certified teachers from Mexico to be able to come to our district. I did request to have 5 due to the incoming number of students, particularly at the high school. These individuals will come in with their bilingual certification in English and Spanish, and hopefully we'll be able to have them certified in science, in social studies, in math, in English, as well as, which one am I missing? All the core content areas. And so in the next consecutive weeks, I will be doing interviews with ISB to onboard more staff. Currently, what we do have, and we are so grateful for that, is that we do have instructors. In our program, we were fortunate enough to be able to onboard certified instructors who speak the second language in an effort to be able to have staff in our classes. Because as you know, statewide, worldwide, we are all experiencing a shortage. And so what the state has authorized me to do is, if we have teachers in the capacity of instructors that have a bachelor's degree, in which they do, we could have them take a target language proficiency test, which will be in their opposite language, and then it will be a qualified teacher for our program for 5 years. Within this 5 years, the goal is for them to be able to obtain their teaching certification so that they can become a certified teacher. We've also received a grant from the state for the Elevating Teachers Grant, which was about $40,000 that we can utilize for teachers who are seeking to obtain their professional educator license or the ESL and bilingual endorsement. And so currently we have teachers that are attending National Louis University in an effort to be able to use those funds to cover those expenses. So at the end of the school year, we'll be able to report out exactly how many teachers that we've transitioned from an instructor and moved them over to a teaching position. Lastly, we also have what the state is authorizing us as short-term approval for our paras, because of the difference in the language being spoken in the classes and the expectations for the teachers. With our grant, we were able to onboard more paraprofessionals. So currently, the state gives us a short-term approval, which allows us to onboard paraprofessionals or paraeducators for a short term of 3 years. Within that 3 years, those paraprofessionals need to obtain either their associate's degree or their pass the para test. Last week on our LLA day, I had some people come out to the district to talk with the paras about next steps, so we didn't wait until the last minute so that we can get them certified. The only other thing that I had was, so we are also going to offer, and I've got the approval from Ms. Fountain, to offer an ESL summer school, because what we're also looking at is there are a lot of unfinished learning, and so this summer we will offer ESL summer school, and then in particular we'll focus on a course for newcomers to help them with English, but also look at the deficits in English and Spanish, and then be able to design our summer school based off of that unfinished learning. Another thing that we have, and Ms. Lorena can speak on that, is that based off the need for all of our families, we were able to utilize, and thank you, Dr. Walters, for that, along with Ms. Cody, we're working and collaborating with our 19 to 21 program. And so what we've done is we've started accepting donations from the hours of 3 to 5 at our new site, so that way the families can come in, the community can bring items to be donated. But we were very intentional with how we designed that because the focus was for us to be able to offer our students in the 19 to 21 program a job. And so what they're going to do is, as we continuously get into clothing, they're going to separate the clothing, and that will be work for them. It's housed at their site. Ms. Sylvester will work along with Ms. Lorena and my other parent liaison. And so we've been getting the donations, and that will be another opportunity for our students in the 19 to 21 program to learn life skills. I think for the most part, then that's it. I will say that 1 week, we had an influx. We registered 18 families in 1 week, and so that was 2 weeks ago. And so, again, we are looking at possibly opening up more spaces based on the needs assessment, and so we're currently auditing our program. And so we did meet with the principals and let them know that we might need some more space in the building because, you know, we have to provide services to our students. And so we're having an ongoing conversation to make sure that we'll be able to best support our families. I know that was a lot in a short time frame, and I did not have my presentation, but do you have any questions for me?
I do.
Uh-huh.
You listed almost every South American country, and I know the dialects are all different. Are you
Yes.
having trouble joining that?
So we had to purchase some dictionaries because a lot of those words that they were using, some of us were familiar with them and some of them we were not. We were not able to, where there was other different means of saying that, and so we did get some dictionaries to kind of help us learn those different terms and do a little bit more research. Like one of the things is the educational system. It's different, so we're able to find the education system in almost every single one of these countries so that when we place in our kids in the classes, we can look and see what's equivalent to our education system in an effort to provide them or put them in the places where they need to be based off of their experience.
So like is Spanish if, I don't know how to describe it, is Spanish the number one language?
It is.
And everything kind of filters off of that?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we even have
they
someone
should
in the
be able
district
to
that's Russian.
Understand something then, right?
Yeah, it's just that some of them, like, they omit S's or something like that, and just they use different terms. And so we have these books, okay, this is what this means. And so we're trying, and we also have, like, translating sites that we utilize and external resources too in the event that we do need to be able to better understand. But these girls have done an amazing job with our families and bringing them in. Lorena, thank God for her because she's out there, she's in it. They have her number. We have Monica who's in district, and so collectively those ladies work to be able to provide our families with the services that they need.
That's good, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, where are you taking the donations?
It's at the transition site.
Archie, I
Sorry,
didn't hear your
sorry.
question. Did you ask a question?
No, that was me, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Ms.
I
Varela.
was asking where were they taking donations?
At the transition site during the hours of 3 to 5, and then now we were able to onboard someone, so we're going to extend those hours so that it'll be open from 9 to 5. So if parents need to come in to get items, we advertise that we actually just finished creating our vouchers, so that'll be going out. We've collected non-perishable items as well, and so the goal is to have a secondary site for emergencies so we can be within reach as the families come to district, or we'll continuously utilize the services that we have placed at the transition site. But we do have a space there. The girls are working, they got to go tomorrow to go and finish up. But we've gotten so many donations, furniture, Lorena has pictures, so people are really bringing in things for us. And it's for all of our families, not just our Hispanic, any family that's in need.
For clothes, any size?
Any size.
Young,
Yeah, because we have some that's coming in from infants all the way to whatever. And so they're sorting through right now, and the students will begin working with us on that so that way we could be able to house all of the items that we're getting donated. But we have an influx at the site right now.
Ms. Baronis, you had a question?
No, I just wanted to thank Ms. Petty and all the bilingual staff. I know it's not easy right now, and just thank you for being proactive and trying to get staff in there to service our students. And to the staff, thank you for continuing to work to make them feel comfortable and here at Kankakee. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I also just want to say thanks again to, I've been meeting with Shamika and Dr. Walters and forever trying to get, just, you know, to kind of keep them abreast. And I just appreciate their support so much, as they do understand that every day it could be different. We can get a family in, and based off, you know, the buses that are being delivered, we just want to be proactive to make sure that we can best support our families at any given time. Yes, Jesse.
Mr. Gathing?
Is there a breakdown of where the kids are in school from elementary, junior high, high school? Do you guys have the numbers there?
Yep, I can email you that. Like I said, I'm sorry, but we do have it. It's broken down by preschool, because Pamela is also getting a lot of preschoolers in as well, kindergarten, so I can break it down by grade bands if you want me to send you pre-K through 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. I can do that.
Okay.
You want the current numbers and the historical
No,
numbers?
well, I just wondered if there was a breakdown, like how many kids are at the high school? How many kids are at the junior high?
We have about
I'm going to-
260-something at the high school and roughly close to about 100 at the junior high school.
Okay.
And then, like I said, pre-K goes all the way down, but we do have those
Okay.
numbers if you want them.
Any other questions from any board member?
You want to share anything? No? Good? Okay. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tough task. You're
Yeah.
going to be growing, I'm afraid, more
Yes.
than it is now.
I'm just so grateful to have the resources available to us.
This is a tender subject that I don't mean to pry, but is housing an issue for folks?
So yes, I did leave out that part. So we are working closely with Barnetta, who is our homeless liaison, and her and Monica are finding housing, as well as Arania, almost every week. And so we've had a lot of families, and she can speak on it more, specifically the number, that has taken advantage of the services. The district has been very supportive in that area. Barnetta knows when we call her what we need, and if the funding is there, we're going to use it until it all exhausts.
The other thought, as we mature with this project and deal with it, there's an advantage or an opportunity perhaps to have kids teach each other. And I'm sure I think we've talked about an immersion situation. So I know you're deluged. I'm not suggesting that happen now, but as you go forward, I think that would be a great thing for.
Yes.
There's supposed to be can talk about conversation.
The conversational Spanish. It was the idea to bring the conversational class to the high school where we have that same design. It really didn't flourish the way that we wanted it, but I do have a newcomer specialist, and so she's going to work on that this summer to help us build that into our program. Our two-way program is somewhat designed like that, but I need to do an analysis and look and see what other districts are doing so that it will be a lot more equitable, and so we'll be able to see the measurable outcome.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Do they all have places to live now? They all places?
Some of them, we're still working on it because they have to prove residency, and there's some other hiccups, but we're working. We have a system to get them the information that they need, and like some of them needed it for jobs and things like that, and so she's been very helpful with going out and getting them. I know a lot of it was they just need to prove residency. Well, as part of the Illinois Administrative Code, when our families come in and we screen them within 14 days, we need to send them a letter. So we can utilize a letter from the bilingual office to help them prove residency at the location in which they live. So that was one of the things that we had, that we already do, that we just need to make sure that we had it accessible to them. All right? Okay. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions or need anything else, just certainly let me know, okay? All right, thank you.
We know where you are.
Next is a presentation on the agenda for the Student Success Center.
Is that the
I
one
would
we-
like to make a recommendation. Can you hear me, Chris?
That's not you. What did he say?
What did you say, Chris?
On the agenda, the next item is a presentation for the high school Student Success Center.
Was that on there? How were we pulling that?
Hang on.
Is that not?
No,
It is on there.
this is, where is it?
It's on there.
That's the next thing?
It's on there, but Ms. Garrett, what are you presenting? On-track data. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're not doing student success.
Yes.
We are doing, never mind.
But it can be
Is that what we're
combined.
pulling?
We can do the
Okay,
presentation.
okay. You can do it combined, okay.
That's fine. We're ready for it. Thank you.
Kankakee Student Success Center update.
Oh, that's the one. Student success. That's right.
Okay, good evening, Dr. Walters, President Bolin, members of the board. Thank you for this evening. I'm presenting this information on behalf of the high school, just to update you on the on-track information and demographics that were requested from the last board meeting. Now that semester one is complete, we wanted to just give you an update of what the on-track information looks like at this point. As you can see, based off of where they were at the start of the school year, we have had an increase in 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and 5th year seniors on track status. This information was requested at the last board meeting about on-track data by race ethnicity for the current senior class. At the bottom in pink, you can see specifically to how it is broken down by federal standards of federal race black, federal race white, and Hispanic Latino ethnicity. And as you can see here in blue, that is our on-track numbers, 63%, 71%, and 62%. And at the top, this information just gives you a little bit clear information for the entire high school. Here we have 67% for federal race of black, 77% for white, and for Hispanic, Latino, 79% on-track data. So we are seeing gains from where we were at this time last year. At the high school, for 10th graders, it is 10% higher for students that are on track. For 11th graders, it is 35% higher student on track data. And for seniors, it is 25% higher student on track data compared to this time last year. So the high school is making great success in those areas. We also added some other subgroups just for your perusal. We have on-track data by gender. As you can see, both genders are nearly identical. And we also have on-track data for our IEP 504, IEP and EL combined students and EL students. And as Ms. Petty just mentioned, we have obviously a large set of newcomer students who've come into the high school. So that does make an impact on the on-track data as they come from a variety of backgrounds and educational experiences. And so we do keep those in mind as we're looking at that. Some of the reasons you're seeing these changes, as you know, we talked about this time last year that we moved from our previous CompC-based gradebook system to now everything is in Skyward. We have a lot of communication at the high school that has really helped. It's increased communication for our students and their families, helps students have a much clearer understanding of grades as they are now just looking at everything in one grade book instead of two. During CBEO time, teachers meet to support their scholars to discuss their grades and provide them with academic supports and utilize this as the opportunity to contact their parents as well. The high school started this year using the MTSS tab within Skyward to do documentation on student interventions. The Student Success Center, which here in a moment the director and the interventionists are going to talk more in detail about, have been adding student supports throughout the day. This year we also have a staff beyond one person in the Student Success Center, and we're seeing a very large impact in the number of students that are able to be served for that. There are EL supports throughout the day there. There's now a testing center within the Student Success Center this year. There's multiple teachers who work one-on-one with students, either during their plan time or they're assigned that location. We have a teacher who specifically works on doing college applications and essay supports with students, and then one who also is that same teacher who is supporting and tutoring our college dual credit students and checking in with them each week to make sure that they're staying on track at the collegiate level. We have our interventionist who creates on-track plans for our off-track students. We've seen an increase in the use of Twilight, Saturday School, and then we're continuing to use Kankakee Connect. And there's an increase in our number of early college students. As you know, we had 71 students first semester who were involved in some form of dual credit through either KCC or ONU. And we had 91 students at Kankakee Area Career Center at the beginning of the school year. And then each of the classes is also having town hall meetings monthly with students to make sure that they are aware of what's going on and what they need to do academically as well as socially to remain on track. Some other highlights from the high school are that they have this semester increased grade level time for teachers, counselors, and SEL coaches to meet at least once every 2 weeks. That time will be talking about wraparound services for students. They're increasing the number of student groups that are working with SEL coaches and counselors. There's 35 groups right now going on at the high school throughout the week that are being pulled with students for a variety of reasons, not just academic and social, but just to have different things that they can do to support the students. Tomorrow, and I would like to invite anyone who would have the opportunity to come from noon until 6, we're going to have the college and career fair at the high school. You might have seen the advertising for that. We have over 60 vendors between colleges and employers who are coming out to give students a global perspective of their career and educational pathways, which is being followed up in March during Student Intervention Days on the 27th with a union, trade, and job fair. So students will get the opportunity to be exposed to trades and unions. That's going to grow into a larger program that we'll learn more about. And then as well, we have asked local employers to come out and give students the opportunity to apply and do on-spot interviews with students for after-school, weekend, summer work, and especially for our graduating seniors who are looking to go straight into the workforce, the opportunity to apply for a job then. So that will be taking place on March 27th. And then throughout the month of January and February, we have had multiple events. We've had our FAFSA night. We'll be in both English and Spanish. We'll have another one of those again after spring break. We've had multiple early college nights and a career center night. Lastly, we'd like to say thank you to all the high school staff for all their hard work, and that is the greatest impact, as we know, that can be made on students is what our staff put forth. Any questions I can answer for the board?
Any questions from any of the board members? Any questions from any of the board members?
Again, I just want to thank the high school for providing all this for the parents and the students to kind of just get them in and kind of showing them and giving them opportunity. So thank you.
Absolutely.
What was your turnout for the FAFSA event? Did you have?
Yes, we had about 20 students who represented between them and their families. One of the struggles right now is if you have a student who's going into college or is in college, you might know the FAFSA has changed. And so the portal is not open very regularly. In January, it was very, very challenging. So it is better now in February, but we are going to have multiple events so that way, the more open that the portal is, the better opportunity for parents to get on and understand what they need to do for support.
You know, there were a number of glitches from FAFSA.
Yes, it has been very challenging, but it is a new system at the federal level, so we were anticipating that probably would be the case.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Sure.
So I just want to add to thank you for the city. The city of Kankakee actually gave the Youth Empowerment Program a certain amount of money to develop the trades program. The purpose of the trades program is not necessarily that students will get credit. The purpose of the trade program is to expose students to the opportunities in the trades. And so the city of Kankakee gave us a certain amount of their ARPA funds, and they're also providing a house where students that are interested after the trade fair in March can actually work in the summer to actually help alongside of each of the trades renovate a house so that they can understand like what do we need to do to get into the trades. And so I just want to make sure that we know that the city of Kankakee actually did give the Youth Empowerment Program a certain amount of money to develop a trades program. And so thank you to the city of Kankakee for allowing that opportunity. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Pamela Bell. I'm the coordinator of the Student Success Center at Kankakee High School, and I am here to give you guys an update on the services and how things are going so far this year at the Student Success Center. Overall, the mission of the Student Success Center is to make sure that we have a space that is inclusive and accessible for multi-purposes for the students at Kankakee School District. So at the high school, we are centrally located, which is very, very helpful for students to locate us, and they are now becoming more advocates for themselves as far as resources that they may need. Some of the resources that we offer in the Student Success Center include CBE opportunities. So that is when students are missing tasks, they're able to come in and get support academically from either myself or the team of teachers that are in place. We have testing center services, we have the writing lab, and then attached to this document is a one-pager that students are able to access as well. Some of the staff members include Ms. Anders, who is ELA support, social studies support, and dual enrollment support. And she does this virtually. She meets with the students as Ms. Garrett referenced earlier. Myself, Pamela Bell, the coordinator of the space. I do the ELA support, humanities, so social studies, psychology, any of those, library services, and Apex. Mr. Griffin, on his planned time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, come in to offer math support. We have Ms. Lara, who does the ESL support, and she has been absolutely amazing with that group of students to offer them the support that they have not had within the school day previously. Mr. Darren Kinzinger offers support in the area of financial literacy, Apex, and then we have students that have study hall periods as well. So far, we have had 2,588 entries into our sign-in portal for the Student Success Center. Students come in to work on work completion. They have enrichment and recovery opportunities. They also get academic support for credit deficient seniors, both virtually and in person. So we go hand in hand with Ms. Kilbride and offer support academically for those students as well. The testing center, we have ESL support that we mentioned earlier. Library services are super important in our space. We send out surveys so that students can have input on the materials that are coming into the Student Success Center. So far, we have roughly 300 books that have been checked out so far this year. Our goal, of course, is always to increase that extra layer of reading recreationally, but so far, there have been an influx of students that have come in. We also do college application and essay support, printing services, and academic support for our students that are in the dual credit programs and early college programs, our study hall students, and our late arrival and early dismissal seniors. These are just a couple of scenarios, one of which there's been a lot of students that come in to give us feedback. There are students from last semester who have worked with myself on how to calculate and own their data and calculate their GPA manually. There was a junior that came in recently and was very proud to report that his GPA is now a 3.4 and that he has made sure to keep with his studies and that he's able to manually own his own data. And so he was very, very proud to report that. The other scenario that was mentioned that I wanted to point out was that there has been a particular student or students that have come in quarter one not passing, and so now through quarter three currently they have an A in their class, and they've come consistently during that CBEO time to get support. So CBEO is very important because it allows students to come in without missing class time in order to get that extra layer of support. So I'm very proud of the students for coming in to advocate for themselves. Teachers also use the space. They refer students to the Student Success Center when they need extra layer of support. So if a student was missing during a time and they needed extra support in those core areas, teachers send them down as well. Looking ahead, we also have goals because I like to be goal-oriented. We would love to expand opportunities for college essays and application. We would like to increase the digital media for students and, of course, increase circulation and usage. So we'll continue to send out those surveys to see what student interests are in order to increase those numbers. And next we have Ms. Kilbride, who's going to talk about the intervention services that she offers.
Hello, I'm Mary Kilbride. I'm the interventionist at the high school, and I am assigned. I started out in the Student Success Center at the beginning of the year. I am typically in charge of off-track plans. So a student comes in, we assess the transcript, and then we created a plan to get them on track. And so that was my goal at the beginning of the year. Offer students the opportunity to have hope for their future. As Ms. Bell stated earlier, the most important part of that for us at the high school is for them to own their own data, offer students an opportunity to grow both academically and emotionally, offer students the chance to increase their academic power and their ability to be lifelong learners, offer students the chance to contribute to their long-term well-being and that of their community, support students in their efforts to do so, offer a safe and supportive environment while holding them accountable to their own growth, and encourage our students to make positive, lasting connections with their school environment and our community as a whole. Earlier, we talked about Illinois State Scholars. My work on the daily basis is with kids that are on the reverse end of that, that have many, many challenges outside of their school day. And so my goal and our goal at the support staff is to make sure that kids know that they still have the opportunity, even though life has dealt them some lemons, so to speak, that if they persevere and they work hard and they take advantage of the opportunities we've given them, that they still have an opportunity to be lifelong learners and contribute to not only their own well-being, but that of their families and their community. At the beginning of this year, we had 41 fifth-year seniors that enrolled. I just had another one sign up when I was doing this, and we have now 15 that have graduated already. Seniors at the beginning of this, we had 346 total active seniors, fourth-year seniors. So I have 181 on plans. We've had 7 early graduates, and actually today we have 8. She just finished today, well, finished yesterday, but texted me during the Super Bowl to let me know that she was done with her English. So juniors, we have 25 plans for them to recover their credits. That number grows daily as we started out with the seniors, and now we have some time and some space to add juniors into that, and a couple of sophomores. Credits we have recovered so far are 648 credits, and the number of seniors on track is now 226.
Yay.
Yep. Students are referred, oh, thank you. Students are referred by their triangle team. Their personalized plans are created. They come in for one-on-one support. The other part of that I want to just really thank Ms. Garrett for is and Dr. Walters, is the addition of and the approval of work credits. We have a lot of kids that are out there that have decided to come back or continue to pursue even though they are homeless or living on their own, or they have children, or they are helping contribute to their family's well-being by being at work full-time. And so because of the beginnings of COVID, I know there's not a lot of great things that came out of COVID, but one of the great things that came out of COVID was this ability to then go ahead and continue to do their schoolwork and master those competencies while not in person. And most of them, it's because they're working full-time in some capability to add to the well-being of their families, either their own personal family or that of their extended family. And then ongoing communication with talking points, Google Classroom, email, text, phone calls, other teachers in the building. We do referrals, we do SEL groups. So we're just really trying to wrap our arms around the kids and make sure that no matter what life throws at them, that they can succeed, and that District 111 is here to support them, so that when they have children and they come back into the school environment, that their experience was not a negative one, and that they then can pass along that encouragement to their own children.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Anything from the business office?
We need to table a couple of recommendations until we can get more information on an independent learning, living, and development center. So I just want to kind of explain really quickly, the Independent Living and Development Center, there's about 20 adults, because these are 19 to 21-year-olds that are learning the skills to be adults. I also want to make sure that they're a part of a community. And so they have recently had the opportunity to sort and to help organize the support for our homeless and our migrant families. That is the purpose for having a larger center. So we want the community to come to them, and if they own the space and they're providing a service to the community, we also want those students that can to go out. And so it's reciprocal, and instead of it just being what's traditionally 20 years ago is that it would just be a house. But now many schools are looking at a center where you can have community input and community opportunities within the center. Once we figure out what we're going to do long-term, the hope is that there are adult proms there, that there's a partnership with River Valley Special Rec, that there's a partnership with BBCHS, with our co-op, so that it's a center for all of our students, including our juniors and our seniors, could go over and actually have an opportunity to work and to help in that center. And so we do need to table the renovation recommendation until the next board meeting, so that we can have a deeper discussion about it.
Okay, when we get to that on the action items, we'll look for a motion to table. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. HR personnel? Ms.
Good
Fountain?
Good evening, Dr. Walters, Board of Education. Just to give you two updates, the district has signed up for several job fairs that's being provided by colleges, and so we will be attending at least 4 job fairs for the upcoming school year. Also, secondly, I've met with all of the principals and grade bands to look at staffing for next year. So they have submitted to me their postings that they would like to be posted for the upcoming school year, and we will be working on getting that list finalized by the end of this week so that all of the positions that the principals and directors are asking for are being posted. Are there any questions?
Anything? Great.
Thank you.
Very much, Ms. Fountain. Okay, we would like Ms. Leffridge to give us the principal's report.
Good evening, Dr. Walters, School Board of Education, and community stakeholders. Welcome to Taft Primary School. Here at Taft, we are home to the kindergarten and first grade students, College and Career Academy, and the district. We are also home to the kindergarten through third grade Science Magnet program. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our Taft family of teachers and staff that work ever so diligently each day to help us achieve our goals. Will all of the Taft staff please stand? Thank you so much for everything that you do every single day. Will our kindergarten team just give a big wave to everyone, our kindergarten team? Our first grade team that is here. Second grade is a mighty team alone. Third grade is a mighty team alone as well. And we have some of our support staff. Mrs. Hudson, wave your hand. Ms. Glover, Mrs. Heisma, all the way in the back, our awesome clerical staff who run the ship around here. If you know, you know. And last but definitely not least, my assistant principal, Mr. Jonathan Clark. Jonathan joined us this school year and hit the ground running. There was a short period of time where I was out, and he made sure to not bother me and let me heal and rest. So that was greatly appreciated. So if everyone can give our Taft family a big round of applause. Each day, our staff is charged with the substantial responsibility to educate, nurture, and excel our future leaders. We take pride in building the foundation of education for our young students in the district. At this time, I would like to share a short presentation that highlights a glimpse of what you would see on a regular day at Taft Primary School. I would definitely like to give a big shout out to our very own K's Media, who came over, shot all of the footage, and condensed everything to our beautiful video that we have. So big thank you to K's Media. And yes. In closing, everything that we do each day would not be possible without the invaluable teachers and staff that we have here at Tabb Primary School and Kankakee School District. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. And with that, we have a few teachers who will be retiring at the end of this school year. These teachers have been in education for over 30 years and have made a monumental impact on the lives of countless students and families within our community. Our first retiree, Ms. Tammy Schywiller, you can please come on up. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our students and family here at Tabb. Thank you. Next up, we have Mrs. Oasia Irvin. Who has one of her Nana babies.
Aw, so cute. Aw.
Thank you. We also have Mrs. Henderson, she retired in December, and she's currently on a cruise.
Oh.
So she is heavy into retirement life already.
As she should be.
And last but not least, we could not have priceless staff without mighty leaders. Leadership has its peaks and valleys, but through it all, we have been encouraged to remain resilient, passionate, and student-driven. Dr. Walters, we appreciate the dedication that you have had over the years in Kankakee, and we wish you great joy on your new journey of retirement. That concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
You were very thorough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're to public comments, and we have some folks who have signed up. When you address us from the microphone, please give your name and direct your comments to the board. I will recognize the members of the public who wish to make comments to the board regarding any topics related to school district business. The board will take all comments under advisement without discussion, which means the board will not respond tonight. If a member of the public raises an issue of concern that requires follow-up, the board president or superintendent will do so in a timely manner. Please give your name and direct your comments to the board. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. All individuals are to conduct themselves with respect and civility towards others and not engage in personal attacks. The first person is Octavia Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Board of Education. Hello, how you doing? I was just at the meeting. I wanted to address the issue with well, not issue, but the decision of the naming of your soon-to-be community center.
Okay.
I was made aware that the committee had came up with 2 names. The names in which they recommended are kind of like the same. One has just dropped Dr. Walters' name off of it, but it's still the same thing. So we just don't understand, like, what's the big issue with naming this community center honoring Dr. Walters? That's pretty much the big issue here. And also the students that came in today. They wanted to speak to the board about a personal matter, but they were denied because you guys were going into closed session. A lot of them left very discouraged. If you're here to service the students, why wouldn't you let them speak to you before you go into closed session? It was not understood by them at all. So we feel like they do need to be addressed to let them know why they were ignored today. And that's pretty much it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Next is Michael Prude.
Good evening, Board. I am Alderman Michael Prude. I come also in support of the building being named after Dr. Janera Walters. I know the name that you guys was in the committee with was Janera Walters K Center or just K Center. First, my thought is that that really need to be amended with either name because that grant was written for a community center. So I think that community center should be in there somewhere, community, because that's what the grant was written for. But I stand in here to say that, Mr. President, you asked that committee to come together and you said that you was gonna allow the community to have their voice and to name this center. And it was an overwhelming number that came out with emails in support of Dr. Walters. If I can remember, it was 56 for Dr. Walters, 23 for Merrill, and like 12 or 13 for Blake. And there was also over 200 petitions that was signed in favor of Dr. Walters. And when I came to that last committee meeting, there was all people there in favor of her, nobody else. So by your own saying, your words, the community spoke. And I don't see any other name that should be named after other than Dr. Janera Walters Community Center. I think that amendment should be put in there as far as the community part. Again, the young people came in here today. They wanted to voice their opinion because they had sports to go to. They didn't get a chance to speak. So I stand here speaking for them, saying that they are also in favor of this. I understand executive sessions, but I think that something should have allowed them to speak today, knowing that they had all these other activities going on and they couldn't be at this meeting at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Aaron Clark.
Good evening, Board. This also is to advocate for the naming of the center, the community center after Dr. Janera Walters. I know there may be some variation with Kankakee School District 111 at the top, but then Dr. Janera Walters Community Center. And I want to just applaud the things that I heard going on in the district, just some great things that have taken place under her leadership. But I also want to highlight, this is not an exhaustive list, but a list of things that have taken place outside of the district in the community that would give credence to that being the result of your decision. So I am a former employee. My name is Aaron Clark. I'm a former employee of the district. I am now the founder and CEO of Kankakee Forgives, and that is the only reason I left the school district. So what has happened as a result of Dr. Janera Walters has been, as the director of the City Life Center in Kankakee, we were in great need of mentors, and she found resources to support those mentors. And that's been for over a decade now, and we now see adults bringing their children to that program because they were in the program and they know how impactful it is. Then there's Aspire Mentoring, which is another City Life program that has mentored one-on-one hundreds of students over the last years, and she found resources to make that a staple in the community. There's our Streets to Work program, which is another program at the City Life Center, which the capacity for that program is 40 students. 18 of them are from the Latino community. When there was a need made known that our students want to make music and they need to learn how to do that, She found the resources to actually provide for them an opportunity to learn how to make their own music, create their own videos, edit those videos, and a big result of what really spurred on K's Media was those high school students that came and presented to the whole administrative staff one summer. And then just some, and then even with Kankakee Forgives, when we were out and we gave the reason that 98% of the violence in Kankakee is happening at the hands of young black men, and that we wanted to go out and promote education and mental health and relationships and the effects of all of that stuff, and asked if we could get some support, she brought the opportunity before us to have YAP students get involved. And I just honestly, without that type of support, I really don't believe that Kankakee Forgives would ever have become what it is today. When we were met with the request from the students to have a real world work experience, she went out and found the resources for that, and the Youth Empowerment Program is still standing today. And I could go on and on about the community partnerships and all of the building of partnerships and uniting people in this community that has really made a big impact. And I'm gonna skip down because I'm running out of time real quick. And then, along with Kankakee Forgives, there right now, the midnight basketball thing is like really a big deal. And we needed a place for that to be. And when we're finding out that out of the 50, because the capacity is 50 young men mostly, it's a few girls in there that's got ankle bracelets and all that kind of stuff. But Dr. Walters offered wands to make sure that the students are safe. They come in, they play basketball from 9 to midnight, and we're learning that these students are putting down their guns, and they're getting into mental health, and they're getting jobs through that type of support. So I just do want to lastly say that as the violence prevention coordinator for the district, one of my responsibilities was to get into the district and find out what would cause violence to ensue. And I was before this board previously, and I did warn you about a certain incident that if we didn't do something about that incident, it would end up in one of our classrooms. And as a result of that, we did end up on national news. And so today, I want to end by saying the public has spoken. Our youth has spoken. And to send the community away, saying that your voice, to send the community away to say your voice is not going to be heard, I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. And I just really want to implore you to take into high consideration the impact that Dr. Janera Walters has had on this community, and to tell the community that she does not deserve the honor of finding the resources as a result of the request of the community to have a community center, to say you're not worth the honor of your name being on that building. I really think it could be something that comes back to bite us in a very bad way. Thank you.
James Hill.
Hello, how's everyone doing today? My name is James Hill. Thank you all for allowing me to speak. We all know Ms. Walters' overall body of work since she's been superintendent of the school district has been awesome. Everybody won't agree with everything, but let's understand that she did a lot with helping education at the high school and a lot of other facilities and all that around the district, trying to enhance the betterment of the kids. Since there's nobody else want to say it, I'm going to be the first to say it. Somewhere behind the scenes, I don't know where it's coming from, but there's some serious games being played. I don't know who it's coming from, but overall body of work, before she came up and birthed the idea of a community center, no one said Mr. Merle, with all due respect, he was a great man, and the other person either. But their name come up when it's a community center. Nobody said nothing about naming the hallway, the gym, or nothing after one of them until she came up with the idea, or the public came up with the idea for her name. Everybody's supposed to be deeply spiritual in their faith, man, there's some deceptive stuff going on behind the scenes. Because, I mean, come on, man, overall body of work, that's crazy. And I think more often, when the kids want to come in here and when they want to speak, it's easy to shun them off when it's not one of our kids. Dismiss them like they nothing. Are we walking through the hallways engaging with the kids, elbow to elbow, filling the kids out and listening to them talk? As a board, do we come through Taft, the high school, Kennedy, other schools in the district, engaging with the kids? The minute someone do something that one of our kids, it's easily, we raise a lot of noise. But when somebody else's kids, they get neglected. Don't forget their voices, their bodies walking through the school. You know, and we up here talking about, you know, we come in here public comments about the center community, Dr. Walters Community Center. Come on, man. Y'all, are we serious? When did we start becoming this hard up about a community center being named that was birthed in her mind? The idea, raising funds for the district and trying to be helpful. We disagree with our spouses. We disagree with our mothers. At some point, our fathers, our kids, everybody. We don't always like the decisions we make. Over her tenure as superintendent, some of us might disagree with some things. But that's the way the world works. But at the end of the day, what's for the betterment of the kids? You know what I'm saying? And it's sad all the way around the board that we got to get up and speak on this, and it's supposed to be respectful. You parties, I don't care if y'all look away or not. I'm going to speak the way I feel. It don't make no difference. Come on, her overall body of work say, okay, she at least deserved this. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Lorania Laura.
Hello. I want to say in front of the Board of Education,
Could you pull the microphone down? I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
thank you for Dr. Walters for all the quick response, for all the engagement that you have with the Latino community. I talk about my community. Everything that they are getting for Dr. Walters is a lot. Getting a place for youth empowerment program where the kids can go in the evenings, when they can have a mentor. And now, when I asked Dr. Walters in a little meeting that we have with the community about a key to have a place where the Latino that is coming to the town have a key to, they go in any time, Sundays, Mondays, evenings, to get clothes. She say it's going to happen, and happen the next day. So thank you, Dr. Walters, for all the support for the Latino community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We move on to the consent agenda. Are there there are a lot of items on the consent agenda. Are there any items that any board member has an issue or a question about or would like to be removed from the consent agenda? Any comments on anything on the consent agenda? If not, need a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gathing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Johnston. Roll call, please.
Archie?
Yes.
Baronis?
Yes.
Gathing?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Verrett?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bolin?
Yes. 7 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Next are the action items. The first is the approval of the 23-24 emergency plan. That's right here, if anybody needs to reread it. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Gathing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Johnston. Roll call. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Baronis?
Yes.
Gathing?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Verrett?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Archie?
Yes.
Bolin?
Yes. 7 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Next is approval to purchase furniture for the community center. Before I ask for a motion on that, was this, I didn't see any bids. Was this a bid?
Jess, you were at those meetings. I think that The architects have been working on this for about 3 or 4 months.
They have, and we didn't, I don't have.
I'm pretty
I don't-
sure that it's, I'd have to look, I'd have to check to see what the architects did. That was under,
Yeah, no, no, I understand.
Okay.
I'm just worried that it's much more than the bid limit.
No, it wasn't,
I,
it was under.
no, it's,
No, it's more than 20,000.
Oh, yes, yeah, right, that it was.
332,000.
And I'm not trying to hold it
Right
up.
here.
Here it is.
I know that it went through the process with, it didn't go through my process. And
Okay,
so,
no, I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay. We can look at it on the 26th.
Okay, let's do that. If that's okay, I need a motion to table this till the special meeting on February 26th.
Motion, so moved.
Motion by Ms. Johnston,
Second.
second by Mr. Gathing. And I'm sorry, I just,
No, I'm assuming that there's a process that you can purchase furnitures through the co-op.
Right.
But that's an assumption.
yeah,
I would
that's
like to
where
get
I
the
am,
facts
too.
to you.
I just would
Okay.
like to
All right.
make sure we're covered on it. Okay. We need a roll call on the motion to table.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes. 7 ayes, 0 noes, motion to table is granted. I apologize. I didn't bring that up to you. Okay, we have the Board of Education meeting schedule for 24-25. Any questions or concerns on our meeting schedule? Okay, need a motion to approve the meeting schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, Ms. Johnston, seconded by Mr. Williams. Roll call?
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes. 7 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries. The next is we have a report from the Special Committee on Naming of the Community Center. And that report recommended, and first, before I read the recommendation, I do want to thank the 6 members of the Community Center Naming Board. They obviously were volunteers. They spent numerous hours on this consideration. That would be Ms. Camille Rose, Dr. Willie Davis, Dr. Brian Stipp, Alderman Kelly Johnson, Athletic Director Mr. Wilcox, and Jess Gavin. So I really do want to appreciate or state our great gratitude for their service. They came back with a dual recommendation, which is 2 separate names. One was the Dr. Walters K Center, and the K would be the logo, as I understand it.
It is.
Correct?
It is.
And the other one, it was just K Center with the logo.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Since that Dr. Walters K Center was the first one on the list, I need a motion to approve that name. If that one does not carry.
Kind of a question. Don't we have to have community center somewhere in the name?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say.
Do we have to have community center? Because that's how we got the grant.
If the.
It have to be somewhere in the name?
I recommend.
Because that was the purpose of the grant?
So I have to explain that $10 million came from the ESSER funds, and the justification for using it for the ESSER funds was the social emotional health of our community, particularly our students. And so we have data to support that during COVID, the gun violence that are directly affecting our youth went up significantly, and so that was the justification for providing an opportunity for our students to work on their social emotional growth. The youth empowerment program will be housed there, and
So we don't have to have it in the name then?
well,
I just want to be technical about it.
it cannot be an athletic facility only, because that is not how we were given the opportunity.
I'm just talking about the name on
The pleasure of the
building.
board, I don't.
We can have someone inside saying community center, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about, do we have to have community center, whatever, community center on the building?
What did the board think? It's up to you all.
Are you done?
No, I'm
No,
asking the
he's
question.
asked the question.
Oh,
You know, I don't know.
I try really hard to whatever I write a grant for and say it's going to be, that it is that. And it's supposed to be for social emotional support for our families.
So
and
it
our
has to
students.
have community center somewhere on the name.
That's
Just
what I would recommend, that community center is in the name.
Well,
That's what you're trying to get me to say.
Well, I mean,
I would recommend.
You wrote a grant for it, and I want to make sure
Yeah.
if it has to have community center on the name, then we have community center on it.
So there were multiple funding sources, and one of them was our ESSER funds, and it is to provide social emotional support to mitigate the impact of gun violence and trauma.
We can make sure if no one wants to sit down on community center being under the name, we can just make sure there's a spot in there and make sure that's done.
I would,
Okay, Ms. Archie, did you have something to
yes.
say? We don't have a motion yet, but
No, I recommend that the center be named Dr. Gennaro Walters Community Center, Kankakee District 111. That's what I recommend.
okay, so you're eliminating the idea of the K Center or using the K as a logo in it.
K Center is so lame. I'm speaking from my
Okay,
heart.
hold on. Let's get a motion on the floor.
Yes.
That would be the proper.
Yes, well, they
proper-
get the motion on the floor, so
All right, are you making the motion to name it?
I am making the motion to name the center Dr. Gennaro Walters Community Center, and underneath the Kankakee District 111. This Dr. Walters K Center didn't even put her
Oh, wait a
first
minute,
name.
you've made a motion. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Ms. Archie, seconded by Mr. Williams. Now, is there discussion? Ms. Archie?
The discussion is, it's sad, they just put Dr. Walters K Center. They even put her first name. And then the second one, K Center. Who does that? We're professional people here, and we know what's going on. The community, look, I'm done, because y'all ain't gonna stress me out tonight. It's gonna be Dr. Walters Community Center. She earned this.
Okay.
She earned it. If she didn't earn it, I would say so. But she earned this, and everybody here knows she did.
Okay. Anybody else? Are you done? I'm sorry.
I'm done,
Okay.
yeah.
Any other discussion on this motion?
I do.
Yes, Ms. Brett.
So, I first want to say is that I want to apologize on my behalf. I did not know the students came to speak to the board beforehand. If I were here, I would have spoke to them personally, so I did not know that. Secondly, I was afforded the opportunity to, of course, all the board was, to see all the recommendations via email. There was the petition. What the charge that we gave the community was for the community to let us know what name they wanted to be on the building. And the community responded to our request. I think it's in our best interest to follow what the recommendation of our community, because that's what the board asked the community to do. Also, there was an overwhelming response from people in the community, as well as several students who also wanted Dr. Walters' name to go on the community center. I think it would be a disservice to our community to ask them to do something, and they do exactly what we asked them to do, and then we disregard what we asked them to do. And so I know, this is my opinion, I feel like there's a lot of tension about what it should be and what it shouldn't be, but I have learned in my years to sometimes you have to deal with the facts. And so the facts at hand is that we asked the community to do something. The community spoke, and it's been apparent, it's overwhelmingly clear that the community wants Dr. Walters' name on the building. And so I want to implore our board to do what the community asked us to do. I also want to implore the board to be exactly what we say on paper. We asked the community to do that, and so we should honor what we asked them to do. I think anything else would just be a slap in the face to everybody that took the time out to send us an email, to come to a meeting, to come in public comments. It would be a disservice and a slap in the face to do anything other than that. I do also want to thank the people on the committee. I don't want to discredit any of their work and what they wanted to do as far as the name is concerned. I'm sure they had their reasons for doing either one, but I just want to make sure, and I'm saying this because they say when you hear things at least 7 times, then you retain the information. And so I'm going to say again, is that we asked the community to do something. They did what we asked them to do.
Yes.
And so we should honor what we asked them to do.
Anybody else? Ms. Johnston?
I've been in this district for all my life, and I have never seen a division like this community center, rec center, field house has caused. If I would have known it was going to be this much of a division in our city, in our community, I would have never voted for that building. Because I mean, we're trying to come together, and this has done nothing but cause a fraction. Everyone says the community has spoken, but what about all the community that spoke against that had Greg Merrill's name on it, or Craig Blake? And I voted against Craig Blake because he's got a school district, or he's got a school gym named after him. But I've never seen this much hatred, and there's a lot of people that voted.
You got that right.
Excuse me. Go ahead and finish.
I've never seen this much hatred, and there's a lot of people that voted, that sent emails out that were just the opposite of what everyone's saying. Not everyone, not 100% said this is what we want, but the way you guys are presenting it to everyone, that's what you're making it sound like. You know, and we got all the emails. The community didn't get the emails. They don't know what everyone was saying. So I'm sad that this has happened, because this never, ever, ever should have happened.
I want to respond because.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. Anybody else want to address the motion?
I said I'd like to respond if I could.
Is this the motion for Mary's, right?
Correct, Mary, it's Mrs. Archie's motion. Okay.
I wanted to respond because the statement that Ms. Deb made was that the community has spoken. So that is true. Every single recommendation that came in was someone speaking. I'm not discrediting any nomination, but what I am crediting the fact that the majority of the nominations were for Dr. Walters. And so anytime you're dealing with fact-based information, the majority always rules. That's not discrediting anything else that came there. That's just saying that the majority rules. So when you have a situation where you ask the community to do that, and it would be a play of words to say that everybody's opinion matters, and now you're saying that, it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the reason why we wanted people to do that because we wanted to see what the majority of people wanted to do. And so any fact-based information tells you that. So I'm not discrediting any nomination A couple of the, one of the persons that was nominated, I didn't really know. I researched them myself. They appear to be very dedicated people to our district, and so I'm not discrediting anybody that's done anything for one of our students, even one of our students. But the fact of the matter is that the majority of the nominations and the majority of the community wanted the name to be Dr. Walters' name. And so that's my position. I'm not discrediting any of them.
Krista.
Any other discussion?
I would like to,
Ms. Archie?
What Ms. Johnson said, she talked about the division. Yes, I agree with that. But we've been divided forever. This is nothing new. Everybody knows this. You said they. I asked the course, who are you talking about? Who's they? You did say that word. We can listen to the tape later. You said they. Who are you talking about, they? You said it's so much hatred. Who's hated? I'm just asking a question. You said
She's not going to answer.
I
This
know,
is
but I'm
time to
just putting it out
discuss.
there for her.
This is a time to discuss.
I just like to do this quote where we were taught, evil is incapable of a perfect plan. We talking about hate because it forgets about divine intervention. Pastor Copeland, thank you.
Okay.
One more comment.
Okay, Ms. Johnson.
We took all of the information and all the emails that were sent and all the people that came and talked in front of us for the public comments, and we put a committee together. And the committee was very diverse, and this is what they came up with. I mean, why shouldn't we take what they came up with as how we're supposed to vote, instead of making up stuff as we're going along?
This is not made up.
Don't
you have a first
Excuse me,
name?
I haven't recognized. Hold on. We have to keep this orderly just because it's a difficult discussion. Anybody else have anything to say? Ms. Archie, do you have something else to say?
It says Dr. Walters. She has a first name. Dr. Walters could be somebody in another state. So when people come, who's Dr. Walters? She has a first name, Dr. Janera Walters. And why would you accept something? I wouldn't accept nobody put my name up there. Miss Archie does, maybe another Mary Archie. Might not be, but anyway, Dr. Walters, she has a first name. That's why I said Dr. Janera Walters, Community Center. And we can go on, because this ain't what it says.
I do have a comment.
What's it?
I do have a comment. She asked why should we entertain any other name, because as a governing body of the district, anything that comes before us is a recommendation. And so any board member has the opportunity and authority to speak anything opposite if they want. So I don't want to discredit what Ms. Archie feels. If that's what she feels, that's her opinion. But we can entertain whatever we like. But I don't want her to feel like she came up with anything, because if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. And so.
Okay, I'm good. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Any other? Yes, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I just want to say the name that Ms. Archie put up there is a proper sounding name. You don't want to cut and slash. You know, everyone's going to see that. And you want to have a nice, proper name, because it does represent the entire district. And I think putting her full name up there would do that. And what'd you say it was going to be? K what?
No, it's not. Her motion is to eliminate the reference to the Ks. Her motion does not.
No, I'm talking about the other two names the committee came up with.
He's asking what the second
Oh,
motion
the
is.
second name was the K Center with using the logo.
His computer doesn't work.
But you mean
So with the other recommendation, it would have her name and then the logo of the K, and then what else?
The first recommendation, assuming we add the first name, it would be the Dr. Janera Walters Case Center, or K Center. using the logo as the K. The second recommendation was not using the name and just calling it the K Center. Those are the two recommendations they made, modified slightly by the recommendation of, it's not the motion, but in terms of what's at issue here.
So it would still have District 111 on there, right?
It is still District 111.
I just asked the question, with the name,
That's
District
not part of,
111.
that is
It's
not part of the name
of the
that's
building.
recommended here, and that's not part of the name recommended by the motion.
Yes, District.
I thought you said District 111.
She did.
Huh?
That didn't.
I ain't talking about the committee, I'm talking about what
No,
she said.
her motion was to name it the Dr. Gennaro Walters Community Center. That's the name, that was the motion, correct?
And she said underneath it, Kankakee District 111.
No, she did not.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, all right. We ain't got, we ain't got to go into discussion about that. I just wanted to make sure what I heard.
Okay, you did. I just say, Kankakee District 111.
Yeah. No, I think it's totally appropriate.
Okay.
We're going to excuse Dr. Walters, not because of anything except Lorenz is playing basketball at the high school.
Here's your
I thought you were going to leave earlier. Okay. So what we have on the floor is a motion to name the building the Dr. Gennaro Walters Community Center. Any other discussion or comment? Hearing none, would you please call the roll?
Verrett.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Archie.
Yes.
Baronis.
No.
Gathing.
No.
Johnston.
No.
Bolin.
I've not commented, and I'd like to comment on two things. I would love to have heard the kids earlier tonight. Let me make that clear. But we are required, when we set an agenda, to say what time the meeting will start so that everybody can be here at the right time. The meeting said we would start at 5 and immediately go into closed session. That was the agenda that was set. Legally, I can't change the agenda, and nor can any other person here. So that was explained to the young people who were here. I'm sorry we didn't hear their voice, but that's, I didn't make that law, I didn't make that rule. It's called the Open Meetings Act. The agenda has to be followed unless it's modified ahead of time. But certainly the start time can't be modified after the start time has started. So I apologize to the young people. I wish we could have heard them. Secondly, process here has been difficult. I had no idea that we would become so polarized over what to name this building. I have a great deal of respect for Dr. Walters. I've said it publicly, especially during the times of her retirement events. I've enumerated what I think she's accomplished, and I think she's made a lot of very positive contributions. In terms of the naming of this building, we have a policy, and that was to name a committee, and the committee is to make a recommendation. And the policy is quite specific on what we're supposed to do, and that's, I just lost it.
Here it is.
Thank you. The policy provides that recognizing the name for a school building, facility, or ground or field reflects on its public image, the board's primary consideration will be to select a name that enhances the credibility and stature of the school or the facility. Of all the things that have been said, there were a couple of emails that were shared with the committee and anybody that FOIA'd, and we had a couple of people FOIA. But Mr. Miller and Mr. Bender both suggested that it needed to be named for the community. That's only 2 people. I acknowledge that. But it caused me to think a lot about how we do that, how we assure that the community doesn't, that the polarization that's been caused by the suggestion of a name or not a name or a different name over the naming of putting a name on a building, the polarization and the personalization and the attacks that I've received over this, those don't cause me to change my opinion, but it's disturbing that in this community, this issue would cause the division that it's caused and would have caused even threats of violence if we don't name it one thing or the other. This is a community building. It was created because we received, and not all the money's going into that, but we received a lot of money, $30 million, in COVID funds. And the COVID funds were out of the blue. We didn't apply for them. We didn't, they just came. And then we had to designate what we were going to do with those COVID funds. And Dr. Walters made the choice and recommendation, and this board approved it, to build a community center with some of those funds.
It can't be named after her.
I'm going to vote no on this proposal because I don't think that this fulfills the idea of the community. I think the K's logo is important. I think the fact that it's a school district building is important. And I'm willing to discuss alternatives that would include, that would even include Dr. Walters' name. I'm not opposed to Dr. Walters' name being on the building. But I am opposed to it not being representative of the fact that there's a whole lot of young people that had a substantial learning loss that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. And that's what that building is going to represent, is that it's going to be a healing place so that when that happens again, if it ever happens, or when we just try to recover from the learning loss, that it will be there to do that. I've talked enough. I'm going to vote no on this. I'm willing to defer this and try to negotiate a resolution that would include Dr. Walters' name, but include a reference to the community. Or you can come up with a motion at this time. I'm happy to consider that, but I am not willing to ignore the K's, the significance of that for a whole lot of people. And calling it the K Center, I don't think is lame. I think that's a pretty good idea, but I'm also willing to discuss including her name, but I will not vote for something that excludes reference to the taxpayers and the students and the staff and the residents.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Mr. Bolden.
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you too far away from the mic.
I'm sorry, I didn't intend to move back. I'm not willing to vote for a name that does not make reference to our community and to the school district and to the fact that there is a whole lot of people who this building will represent. So I vote no on that motion. If, again, you want to make a motion that modifies to accomplish your goal, I'm willing to talk about that.
So are we saying that we want community center to be part of the name?
I'm saying I want Kankakee School District 111 or I want K's. I want a reference to the fact it's a school. It's a part of a built school process, district. It's a community building. Community center, I think that's fine. I think that's, quite frankly, that's the motion that was approved to build the thing, was called a community center. I went back to check that. And I'm okay with community center, or that part doesn't bother me, but not including the fact that it's a school district building and not including the K's logo. I think, it's sort of goofy, but that's where I am.
No, the K's logo was always going to go in the building. No.
The motion that was made does not include the K's.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion that we name the the
Wait a minute.
building.
I haven't declared, hold on a minute.
We got,
The K's logo is going on the building no matter what we name it. So, yes, it is. Don't tell me it's not. It is going
I didn't say-
on the
I didn't say
building.
it.
I'm saying people sitting next to me telling me it's not.
Well-
The K's logo is going on the building no matter what.
I don't
And
know
we
by
just- we
quantum-
just-
I don't know why you're
Supposed to be
saying that.
focusing on the name.
Okay, and we're focusing on the name and including the K's logo in the name. That's what am suggesting. Now then, make your motion, Ms. Ferret, I'm sorry.
I would like to make a motion. Oh, I think Mr. Gadding wants to say something.
we're still in the same motion with
No.
both names.
Well, the
are we
first,
not?
the motion was to approve
changed.
the.
Yeah, that, you voted that, we voted that one
She
down.
changed. So now we need that motion failed, 3 ayes, 4 noes. Now, Ms. Ferret, you have a name or a motion.
I would like to make a motion that we name the center the Dr. Janera Walters K's Center. Dr. Janera Walters K's Community Center, I'm sorry.
K Center?
K's Community Center.
So it's the same thing we got the committee said, but just put a first name on it.
No, the Dr. Janera Walters K's Community Center.
Yeah, just put a first name.
K's or K with the K?
K, the logo, K.
K with the logo.
Put the genera there.
They put community in it.
All right, so the motion is now, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Motion by
Brett.
Ms. Ferret, seconded by Mr. Williams, to name the building the Dr. Janera Walters K Center.
K Community Center.
K Community Center, sorry.
K's Community Center.
No,
Or
K.
K,
The logo.
K Community Center?
Just the K.
Just the K? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just trying to keep up.
So we have a K, Dr. Janera Walters K Center, K Community Center.
K logo Community Center, yeah.
Second.
We already have a first and a second.
You already got a second.
Can we include, can I ask you to amend your motion to include at some point on the building the Kankakee School District 111?
Yeah, that's
Somewhere.
what I said.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want that.
All right. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, call the roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
No.
Gathing,
No.
Johnston,
No.
Verrett,
Yes.
Bolin,
Yes. Okay.
Evil is incapable of a perfect plan.
we need the table 7 through, or 5 through 11.
Oh, yeah. I need a motion on our action items 5 through 11.
Motion to table.
Ms. Baronis makes a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
Wait a minute, what are we
We're
doing?
tabling all of them, right?
All
Yeah.
5
Yeah,
through
5
7.
through
The
11.
motion is to table 5 through 7,
Yes.
correct?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Second. I
Second
her
by
motion.
Mr. Williams.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Mr. Bowl, I'm sorry.
Okay, there's a motion to table under action items 5, 6, actually it's more than 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
11.
Okay,
It's for the transition center, we talked
Okay,
about that
yeah.
back there.
Is that okay to
Yes.
make your motion? Sorry. Is there a second? Mr. Williams, do you
Yeah, I
make the
second.
Yeah, he
motion?
seconded.
Do you make the motion, Susie? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Susie made it.
I made the motion.
Ms. Baronis, I'm sorry, I got confused. Ms. Baronis makes the motion, Mr. Williams seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That leaves information. Please remember and announce to the public, we are setting a special meeting for February 26th. There will be a couple of action items on the agenda for that. That will be at 6 o'clock at the high school. The 19th, school is closed. 24th is Black Expo at the high school. 25th is reenactments at the high school for Black History. 26th is a special meeting. It's also an LAA day. And the next regular meeting is March 11th. Is there anything for the good of the order? And he's gone, I wanted to make special mention that if you didn't see it Sunday or Saturday in the paper, that our athletic director received a substantial accolade and award.
Yes, he did.
Well-deserved, and I want to congratulate him for that. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.